Reader here. It's December 6th. Time for more Not a Creature Was Stirring. Except me. When the subject of mouse books comes up, one name invariably rises to the top. It's Kevin Henkes, who is a writer, illustrator, and novelist about mice. And sometimes people, if you want. Henkes uses his adorable mouse characters to reflect all too human foibles. I have several Henkes books to talk about this month, but let's start with Lilly's Purple Plastic Purse. If there's a star of the Kevin Henkes mouse series, it's definitely Lilly. She takes center stage in any book that she appears in. This book in particular is about her experiences at school. If you're like me, you love reading, you love learning. You're not a big fan of school. Except you love teachers. But I come from a family of teachers. My mother's a teacher. My brother's a teacher. I do this. It's like teaching. Lilly loved school. Already I find her hard to identify with. She loved the pointy pencils. Oh my god, Lilly, put those down! What are you gonna do? She loved the squeaky chalk. Oh, I started to see why Lilly loves school. And most of all, she loved her teacher, Mr. Slinger. Mr. Slinger was as sharp as a tack. He wore artistic shirts, he wore glasses on a chain around his neck, and he wore a different colored tie for each day of the week. Wow, said Lilly. That was just about all she could say. Wow! Everyone's got that teacher, don't they? That teacher who just blows you away with how not teacherly they are. Instead of, "Greetings, students," or "Good morning, pupils," Mr. Slinger winked and said, "Howdy!" Wait a minute, Mr. Slinger is just the mouse version of Mr. Bergstrom! He thought the desks in rows were old-fashioned and boring. You rodents think you can handle a semicircle? Rodents! There! The book actually acknowledged that they're mice! She drew pictures of Mr. Slinger, and she wrote stories about him, too. Big Friendly Mr. Nice Man Teacher by me, Lilly! And at the very last second, Mr. Slinger saved the cold, starving elderly! But as much as a teacher can sometimes be your best friend, I remember you, Mr. Metzner. The fact remains that they are teachers and they have a job to do, which is something that Lilly bumps up against. Monday morning, Lilly came to school especially happy. She had gone shopping with her Grammy over the weekend. She had a brand new purple plastic purse that played a jaunty tune when it was opened. Lilly wanted to show everyone. Not now, said Mr. Slinger. Listen to our story. This was a bad day to interrupt. He's teaching Mouse American Studies. Stuart Little? Rhymes for mice? Types of cheese? I'll just keep your things at my desk until the end of the day, said Mr. Slinger. They'll be safe there, and then you can take them home. Lily's stomach lurched. She felt like crying. Her glasses were gone. Her quarters were gone. Her purple plastic purse was gone. And she thought, and she thought, and she thought some more. And she became furious. And then she drew a picture of Mr. Slinger. Big, fat, mean Mr. Stealing Teacher. Wanted by FBI. P.S. I do not want to be a teacher when I grow up. Right before the last bell rang, Lilly sneaked the drawing into Mr. Slinger's book bag. When all the students were buttoned and zipped and snapped and tied and ready to go home, Mr. Slinger strolled over Lilly and gave her her purple plastic purse back. It's a beautiful purse. Your quarters are nice and jingly, and those Now that's a great teacher. He complimented her quarters. You may bring them back to school as long as you don't disturb the rest of the class. On the way home, Lilly opened her purse. Her glasses and quarters were inside, and so was a note from Mr. Slinger. It said, "Today was a difficult day. Tomorrow will be better." Lily's stomach lurched. She felt like crying. Instead of watching her favorite cartoons, Lilly decided to sit in the uncooperative chair. So what do you think Mr. Slinger did when he saw the drawing? Did he get angry and complain to the principal? And call Lily's parents and chew them out? And have Lilly expelled? And have the family ostracized? You don't really know teachers very well.